This is Russell Parry on 102.8 Chorley FM with another community interview. And today I'm with Nigel Stewart of the Creative Network and organiser of Chorley Live. Great to meet you, Nigel, and thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to talk to us today. Now, Chorley Live is in its 5th year. Just take us back to how it all started.
Russ, it all started when South Ribble Borough Council came to see one of the bands I play with, and they apparently, for some mysterious reason, enjoyed it and said, would you like to play at Leyland Festival?
Oh,
we
terrific.
said, yes, we'll do that. They then came to me and said, we haven't got anybody organising the PA in the Arts Centre. Would you want? Yes. Would you? They then came back to me and said, would you run the Arts Centre for us? I said, yes. And then they came back another time and said, we haven't got anybody announcing bands on the main stage. Would you do that? I said, I can do that.
So you're a man of many parts then.
Apparently. So I did all these things, and about a couple of weeks, month later, the same lady came back to see me and said, next year, how would you like to organise the music for Leyland Festival?
Excellent.
I said, I could do that, but what are you doing in the town centre? She said, I don't think we're doing anything. I said, well, with all fairness to you lot, it's great what you do, but Leyland Festival is in Worden Park. It's a postage stamp. The rest of the town is completely untouched.
Yes.
Let's do something in the town centre. And then, and I don't know where this came from, Russ, but I came out with this kind of plan. And it was like this. I said, how would it be if we had 12 venues and we put 4 acts on per night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and we did it for 2 nights, and we charged people £5 for a wristband. The lady said, that sounds like a really good idea. I like that.
You know, I was on the edge of my seat then, listening to that.
Really? Well, and that's what we did.
And that's how it all started?
Yeah, and that was 2012.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, genuinely, Russell, eyeball to eyeball, that if we sold 500 wristbands, that would represent success on a huge scale. By the Friday in that July, we had sold 983 wristbands, and that was at lunchtime.
Wow.
And I went...
And that was the first year?
Wow, and that was the first year.
First year.
Chorley Council heard about it, got in touch and said, we'd be interested in talking to you about this, Nigel. So in 2013, we launched Chorley Live. Right. So 2013, 2014, 2015, you know what's coming.
There we go.
And this year, number 5.
Excellent.
And it's amazing.
Incredible, isn't it, really?
It is. It is incredible.
Yeah. Now, the one unique thing, I believe, about Chorley Live, that most, if not all, the acts are local. Is that right?
Absolutely. The Creative Network's mission is to create a local arts scene. Yes. We want to see creative people thriving in our area. Whether you are a musician, whether you work in computing, whether you're a writer, whether you're a video artist, whatever it is that you do that's creative. You could be a chef. We want you to find that there's a thriving scene that's bubbling, and there are people getting together doing things all over the place, because that's what will spark this huge sort of tidal wave that we imagine is coming.
It is, and by the sound of it, it is coming as well,
isn't it?
It is coming,
yeah, absolutely.
With all these people.
Honestly, I do feel it coming. It's just amazing.
And we're just, really, what can we say? You're encouraging all new talent all the time?
Yeah, all the time. We do get approaches from bands who come from all over the place. We've even had an international act.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was from Jamaica, certainly from the Caribbean. And he was very good. But that is not what we're interested in. What we're interested in is our people. It's all about our local people. And we just want to encourage them. So people get in touch. They come at all kinds of stages. Yes. We get people who've been playing for literally 60 years. And I'm not exaggerating, honestly. So you know that they're...
all that experience.
Yeah. And they're great.
Yes.
And we want to encourage them.
Yes.
But we get primary school kids coming. How fantastic is that?
It is.
And one of the phrases that I use, Russ, is that music has been one of my companions throughout life. And I wish that blessing
yes.
on other people.
Yeah.
So those kids, you want to nurture them now, because in 20 years' time, they've got a lifetime to
That's
play.
The future
Absolutely.
of them, isn't it?
They'll be amazing.
And you're absolutely right. Music touches everybody.
It does.
And it brings everybody together. And we've seen that so much recently, haven't
Yes.
we, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not often talked about, but you know, they can do these MRI scans.
Yes.
And they can track where the electrical impulses are lighting up in your brain.
You know, that's absolutely true, because we get involved, my band gets involved every year in Rock Against Dementia, which you probably know all about, hopefully. Yeah. And we played a venue down in Crewe, I remember, a couple of years ago. And the organiser of that event there was only in his 40s. And I said, oh, how did you get involved with this? And he said, my wife has dementia. And his wife was 40 when she was diagnosed with dementia. And she came along in the evening, and when music comes on, she comes alive. Her senses come back. So that's absolutely right there.
When they put those people through that MRI scan and they play
Yes.
the music,
Yes.
the whole brain
And all the
lights up.
connections, for some reason, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
It's amazing.
fantastic.
And if the listeners can hear an echo
Yes.
where we are at the moment, we're in St. James's Church in Chorley, and I believe the band from here is playing, is that right?
On Saturday night at 8 o'clock, the band from here. They played last year as well. They went down really well.
Excellent.
The great PA system. They actually run a venue for me.
Oh,
so they put the PA system in and they mix the sound and everything. They had a lovely sound. Fantastic.
Excellent. Well, let's take a little break for some music, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Chorley Live and what's coming up this year.
Great.
Welcome back to this community interview with Nigel Stewart, organiser of Chorley Live. Now, I believe you have some talented youngsters performing at this year's event as well.
We do, Aaron. We love them. They're absolutely fantastic.
Well, that's all the future of our musicians, isn't it, really? And giving them an opportunity to play.
Absolutely. We get them at all ages, and they get up. Some of them start with open mics, so they just do 2 songs,
Yep.
and they sit down.
Yeah.
And some of them are, honestly, they are fully fledged from the day they start. It's
Brilliant.
amazing.
Yeah.
Got one young man who's now 15. We've been putting him on since he was 9, and he's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he's gobsmacking. Another young lady, she's about the same age. Again, she's been on for all those years since she was at primary school, probably about 9.
God.
Yeah, we get a lot, and now I'm hearing regularly that we're getting interest from TV companies in some of our younger performers. Well, and some of the older ones.
And it's a great platform for them, isn't it? Just to have a go, isn't it, really? Just to get up there.
With a really supportive audience, because as we were just saying in the pause there, we have between 500 and 1,000 musicians in the town, and they are on your side. They want to see you win.
That's it.
So they're there to cheer
Encourage
you on,
them.
encourage you, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
All of that stuff. So they get up and they've got this positive audience.
That's it.
You don't get that everywhere.
You don't. And as a youngster, you need that encouragement, don't you?
You do. It's fantastic.
To get up there in the first place.
We all do.
We do. Yeah, we do. And the range of music, just talk us through the range of and styles of music that people can choose to see then.
Well, the phrase I trot out is, we've got everything from choirs to death metal. Because there's probably 6 or 8 choirs involved, and there's some real hard rocking bands involved.
Really?
Everything in between. So if you're looking for pop, rock, jazz, blues, country, Americana, folk,
there's something for everybody.
You'll find something there
Excellent.
that'll meet what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Singer-songwriters.
That's great. And how do you go about, with so many people interested in performing at Chorley Live, how do you go about selecting them then in the first place?
Yep, really good question. We ask them to submit a link to some audio or video. They send it to info@thecreativenetwork.org.uk. So we have a listen. Occasionally we go out and see them, but truthfully we're dealing with 500 acts or
just
more.
So many.
They're just so many, and they're
them
coming through all the time, Russ. And that's great. We want them. You know, if there's people out there now who are just hearing about this and they're saying, oh, why didn't I know about this?
Yeah.
I need to get my band in or my
Yes.
act in.
Yeah.
Submit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's still not too late, although I've got to tell
it's
you...
getting close to the wire
yeah,
now.
I'm dealing with the last 3 slots right now. But,
really?
But there's open mics, and next year, get yourself lined up, get yourself identified with us, and get linked up with us. We send out a weekly email that tells you what's going on.
Oh, terrific.
We organise lots and lots of events. Honestly, lots.
Get practicing, get a set
list
together.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of first step just gets you going, doesn't it?
And what's your target for this year's event then?
Aha, Russ. Well, you remember when I said earlier in the conversation, 500 people sounded like a just amazing success.
Oh, for the first time round?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the first time we did Chorley Live, we had 3,000 people. Second year, 5,000 people. Third year, 7,000 people. Okay. Last year, 9,000 people.
And this year then?
We'd really like to break that 10,000.
Yeah,
if we can get to 11, brilliant. But if we could break 10,
terrific.
That would be just fantastic.
I've got a feeling, you know, you're going to do it this year.
Well, there's very few people around Chorley who don't know about it now.
They've got to, haven't they?
They do.
They've got to. And wider afield as well, isn't
it? Oh,
it?
yeah. They come from all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, we pick people from Cumbria, people from Birmingham, people from Yorkshire. They're coming to Chorley.
And it's great for the town, of course. We forget all the other things around the festival. You know, they've got to stop over.
Yes.
So it's great for the economy, great for the venues. We kind of forget the venues, don't we?
That great for the venues. They buy food, they buy all kinds of stuff while they're in town. Yeah. And it gets the name of Chorley out there.
On the map.
Yes.
Okay. So Chorley Live is on Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th of October. So how can people support the event in the first place, and how can they go to see all this wide range of performers that we've got on there? How do they go about that?
Great. Okay, so the first thing is, if you can, buy your wristband from an act. The act keeps 100% of the £5, because that's all it costs for both nights.
Yes.
Get a wristband. I've got one on my wrist here.
There we go.
Pity it's radio, but there you go.
There you go.
So £5, if the band sells it to you, if the act sells it to you, they keep all that money.
Okay, so they just get in touch with the various acts.
If they can.
That's one method.
Yep, and they can go to any of the venues and buy wristbands there.
Yep.
They can go to the town hall and buy them there.
Excellent.
Creative Network can supply them as well. So that's how you get your wristband. When you turn up on the night, every venue will have a pile of programs available. They're 40 pages long. They list, I'm not joking, they list everything that's on in the festival, where it is, when it's happening. There's a map, there's an explanation of everything else. Yes, and that's why we're doing it.
And if you're like me and you want to plan ahead and seek out the acts that you fancy seeing, how can you do that a little way ahead?
Yep, there's a Facebook page, which is just Chorley Live. You can search for that.
Yep.
There's a chorleylive.co.uk website.
Terrific.
Council have various bits and pieces.
Yes.
And the programmes will be in the town hall, available in advance, all that kind of stuff.
Excellent. So you can just go on there, and all the artists, all the venues, you can just pick and choose. Yeah. And it's £5 for both nights?
Correct. Every venue. So there are 30 venues, 4 acts on per night in each venue, 240 appearances over the 2 nights. It's like being in Santa's Grotto. I'll tell you, Russ, I'm sorry, I'm grinning like a... But I see people walking down the street holding these things, and they're discussing which act shall we go
and see next.
Yes, and I dreamed that when I started with it all, that's what I kind of dreamed up, that it would be like that. And they're kind of making decisions, and actually they're having, well, there are too many choices here, kind of thing,
Maybe that's right, isn't it? Really?
But you step in a venue and you think, oh, actually, this is not what I thought it was. You go next door, literally in some cases next door, but they're all within walking distance.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's something different to choose from. What's not to like about that? It's like Glastonbury.
I was just going to say, go on.
Without the mud.
Glastonbury without the mud.
Yeah,
How about that? It is. And in a lovely little town of Chorley.
Yeah.
Right on the doorstep.
There's this kind of pixie dust that kind of falls on the town for 4 hours on the Friday and 4 hours on the Saturday. Yeah. And everybody's really kind to each other and gentle, and everybody's smiling and encouraging. People who don't know each other talk to each other.
And
that's how life should be.
Yep.
And it happens.
And that's music, bringing everybody together.
Absolutely, bringing
that's
the community
terrific.
together. And you get 3 generations out on the street. So we see the grandparents, the parents, and the toddlers in the prams, literally, and they're going down the street together, and they're going to venues where licensing isn't an issue, because more than half of the venues will be unlicensed or unrestricted in terms of ages that can go in.
Terrific.
And they're having a ball. Great. And the kids are getting it.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Nigel, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. I know we could talk for hours and hours, couldn't we?
We could.
I've got a feeling we could here. Thank you for making the time. I know you're such a busy guy. And I believe you're dashing off to see a band right now as well.
I am. There's a CD launch.
Great. Okay. I hope that all goes absolutely terrific. I hope Chorley Live goes amazing for you.
Thank you.
I know it will.
Yeah,
and you're going to smash that 10,000 people there. I just know that.
Great.
So the best success with Chorley Live. It's going to be great for everybody concerned, all the acts, all the local businesses as well, and of course for everybody attending. And I'm sure there'll be loads of Chorley FM listeners out there as well. So thank you very much for spending the time to talk to us
thank you,
here today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and all the very best from us here at Chorley FM.
Same with you, my friend.
All the best to you. Thank you. If you'd like to take part in a community interview for Chorley FM, just email me on russell.p, that's russell.p, @chorley.fm. Send me all your details and I'll arrange an interview. You're listening to 102.8 Chorley FM, real local radio.